Hey guys, it's Jonno here. I'm playing this new game, X-Men Battle of the Atom, with my buddy Lupus.
Hey, what's up?
And we are just going to cover this game. It's kind of like an introduction, and I'm going to do a couple more videos just to show you how it works. And here we go. So basically what this game is it's a card game. If anybody's ever played Magic the Gathering, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You have a lot of cards, there's different ways you can trade, there's all kinds of stuff going on, so just think of a typical card game, okay?
Another cool thing is it's free, so don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, free's always good. Everybody likes free. It's free, and it's one of those games that has microtransactions, so you actually can spend money in the game to advance faster, but we both don't recommend doing that because it's one of those, it's not like Clash of Clans where you could spend money and you really kind of need to in certain cases. Like, they've set it up to where you could actually just not spend money and advance really quickly through the game, which is what I've been doing.
So alright, this game is brought to you by Area Mobile. It's pretty cool because the developer's fairly active. He's got all these events kind of going all the time, and he's somewhat transparent with what's going on, which is cool. So one thing that you know about this game is that it's loosely based around the comics of the same name, Battle of the Atom, and it's celebrating like the whole 50 years of X-Men so far, so it's pretty cool. A lot of the cards are direct animations from the comic books themselves. If you've grew up with the comic books like I did as a kid, then it's kind of an exciting thing, and I'm really into X-Men, so you know I have a good time with this.
Okay, so we're going to actually just cover the 5 game menus that are the most important in the game. And basically this is kind of like an introductory, this is how you play the game. So we're on the first menu right now. This is the Academy menu. This is essentially your home screen. You can find everything that you need here. You can see there's a lot of red things going on. So you can see here you have some updates. Here there's some event stuff going on. We're not going to hop into those because the game menus load kind of slow. But basically this is your home menu. It's called Academy, and you can find most of the main stuff when you first log on every day here.
Okay, so as you'll notice on the bottom is you have these 5 basically different tabs that you got going on. You have the Academy down here, which Jonno was just explaining. Then you got your missions, which is cool because it's basically like 6 interweaving storylines that play into each other. And this is how you get the majority of your cards to begin with, and this is how you also level up. So you'll spend a lot of time in these different story arcs. You got Wolverine up here, you got Rachel Gray, we got Beast, Kitty, Iceman, Storm, and then you got the assault mission at the end. So you got a little back button up here at the top, which a lot of people miss, but that helps you get back if you get a little lost.
Also in the missions, there's a lot of bonus missions, and there's a lot of missions that come out that are new releases from the developer, because as you get through the game, you just complete everything. So they're keeping it updated. Like Lupus said, they're active, and they actually are releasing new updates for the game, so you don't get bored with it. So that's pretty cool.
So down here is you got this big button Cerebro, and this will probably be where you get your first notifications, because every day you get a free guy. And anyway, you click on this button, and it'll be maybe confusing because there's a lot of different things going on. This is how you spend some of your real money to recruit guys. But up here is really the important part, because up here, this is where you get the free daily recruit, and also every time you get recruit points, they'll tally up here. And for 100 recruit points, you get to recruit a new hero.
And just to kind of cover what recruiting is, recruiting means getting new cards. And that was kind of confusing to me at first because it's been a little while since I was in the card game arena. So if you haven't played a card game in a while, recruiting basically is just getting new cards. And what happens on that screen is you spend some of your recruit credits, which you can see Lupus has a ton of right now. I don't have that many. And you pay basically 100 for one card, and it's a randomly generated card that you get.
You are going to find more of your common cards there, but you can find rares and up from there. So then we got down here is this really complicated thing, which we probably shouldn't cover this time, but it's the lab. And this is where you go to level up and combine your cards. So this is how you're going to get stronger cards ultimately. So you'll be spending a lot of time here. A lot of the game is based around this part, but it's a little complicated when you get started.
We'll do another video on that. It is actually really complicated, but basically you can combine cards that are different, and you can combine cards that are the same, and you go through the cards and make them better that way. That's the simplest way that I can explain it.
So then down here in this 5th tab is the menu, and here you'll find basically a lot of different things.
Basically everything is in here. There's even ways to get to stuff that's in here that's in other menus. Some of the stuff that's in the Academy menu is also in here. Like, for example, the squads are in this menu, but the roster it's in this menu, but it's not in the Academy menu. So just interesting ways you can get to different things.
Right. So with the roster, this is where you go to see all of the current cards that you have. There's a limit. You start with a limit of 50, but you can increase it using something called time diamonds, which we'll get into later. Then also in this screen, this menu screen, you have your squads, like Jonno said. So going into the squads, this is where you kind of pick your teams, so how you're going to progress through the missions. It always starts you with the recommended squad, so you can always use this function. If you get stronger cards, you can make the deck better. But this is the deck you're going to start with. It's going to be a little different from mine, but this is where you'll find it, and that's how the game will get you started with your squads. And then the last part down here, which is interesting, is the trade function. So this is where you go if you're going to trade some of the cards maybe you don't use anymore. If you want to find new cards to round out your deck, you'll go in here. It's pretty simple system to use. You can also list trades if you want to get rid of some, so that's what the top function is.
And Lupus, have you done any trades that were successful?
I have, actually. I feel like I'm a little bit of a trade pioneer.
Oh.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I try to just trade equal value cards, not necessarily ask for a lot of the same cards that everybody else does, you know? I try to go and look for the cards that I would want to fill out my team rather than try to go for the best super rare cards that I know nobody's going to trade me.
And are there patterns in trading that you see, like things that just happen all the time?
Well, yeah, I would say that a lot of the cards that you kind of start with, these professor cards, they're strong, so a lot of people are always trying to trade for these professor cards. So you'll see that as you go through the game, those will be some of the first really rare and strong cards you get are these professor cards. So a lot of people always want to evolve them. Up here, there's one last thing.
Oh yeah.
This battle
we
up
cannot
here.
forget this.
Yeah, this is super important because when you first join the game, it prompts you to join an XVX team, and you might wonder, well, what the heck is that? And you should do it. You should just join it so you know what's up.
And that's the letter X and the letter V and the letter X, and that's X. It's basically your X team versus another X team, and that's the name of the clans or groups or whatever you want to call them. They're called X teams in this game. And what happens in the X team is that you actually battle versus somebody else's X team, and you can actually see our battle log here. So you can see we've won some and we've lost some. I guess we've lost more than a few. What happened?
Well, we ranked pretty high initially because we were just tearing up the lower ranks. So now, as you can see, we're like rank 531. So it becomes a little bit harder because you get more active players fighting against you.
What is the ranking maximum? Like, is 1 the best?
I think, yeah, 1 is the top that you would want to get. So I know there's rewards for certain events, like where your team ranks, so it behooves you to be active. But this is so complicated, it'll probably have to have a whole separate video.
Well, I'll just cover, just to wrap it up for people because we're already into it. Basically, you're going to battle versus a different team, and if you do well in the battle, you can get some really good rewards, and there are some rewards that you can't get anywhere else in the game, so you want to do your battles. And also, the battles are spaced out every 4 hours, so in Pacific time zone, that equates to midnight, 4 a.m., 8 a.m., and noon. And then it starts
4 p.m.,
back. Oh yeah,
8
4
p.m.,
p.m.
midnight. Yeah.
That's right, exactly. So that's basically, there's a lot of events going on, basically. There's a lot of, like, you're never bored in this game as long as you time yourself and your play time right. So that's a cool part about it. That's one of the things I like a lot.
Anyway, so hopefully you check out the game and let us know what you think about it.
Oh yeah, and join our X team because we are going to clear up some space, and we would like for some really active, good people, especially in different time zones. If you guys are in any of the Asian or European time zones, we're really looking for people in that area. You can see our name up here is X Dudes, and we would love to get some recruits.
So, anyway.
That's the video, you guys. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks for all my awesome Clash of Clans subscribers. I know this is totally different. Thank you to Lupus for coming over and helping me make this video. I couldn't have done it without him.
Well, thanks for having me, Jonno.
Yeah, man, so cool. And thanks everybody for watching, and tell us what you think in the comments.